Hey everyone. Um, so for this speech, if you could give a guess, you'd probably guess right. I'm going to be explaining how to um, successfully hunt white-tailed deer. Um, now I'm gonna be using some notes, so I'm gonna try and go mostly off of memory, but I will be using a few notes throughout the speech. Um, so first, I just want to give you a general explanation of the speech. Like I said, it's about how to successfully hunt white-tailed deer. I'm gonna go over how to hunt, where to hunt, and the tactics used to help you increase your odds at harvesting a white-tailed deer. Um, Hunting white-tailed deer is it's not easy. They are one of the most elusive animals in North America to try and hunt. But with the right tools, right gear, and the right knowledge about how they live, where they live, um, routines, things like that, it all helps with your success in harvesting a white-tailed deer. Um, a little bit of information about whitetails. They are the most sought after game animal in the United States. Like I said, without a doubt, one of the most elusive animals to hunt. A little bit about me. I've been hunting for since I was about 5 years old. Um, I spent most of my life in the woods, hunting all types of animals, but most specifically white-tailed deer. Now I wasn't actually hunting at 5, but I would go with my dad and I always enjoyed it. But I've always been interested in the white-tailed deer, and that's kind of what led me to do a how-to speech on how to hunt them. Um, some information about whitetails. They are the smallest species of deer in the United States. So you have whitetail, elk, um, you have moose, mule deer. Um, and the whitetail is the smallest of those. They typically weigh between 110 to 300 pounds, um, and they're found pretty much anywhere from Wyoming to Florida, and anywhere in between. Not typically found in the Northwest. Um, but when hunting white-tailed deer, there are several things that you need to know and have. First, there's several laws to consider when hunting anything, but specifically whitetails. Every state has different laws and regulations, so you definitely want to do some research before you start hunting and familiarize yourself with those laws. Um, so you have license. There's specific. It's called a bag limit. How many animals you can harvest per day per year. Um, Food sources used to feed and hunt deer. So a lot of states don't allow baiting, but you can plant food and hunt over that. It's kind of confusing, but it has to do with disease control and spreading those diseases within the deer population. Um, let's see. So to wrap up that first point, always check the local laws before hunting any animals, especially white-tailed deer. Um, Now to move on, once you've checked the laws in your state, the next thing to consider is your equipment. You will need to have camouflage clothing appropriate to the temperature. So if it's cold, you want to layer up so you don't freeze. Um, and then choose your weapon, if you will. So you can use a bow, rifle, shotgun, muzzleloader. Um, Even some states allow using pistols. Um, After selecting your weapon, then you need to select the area you're going to hunt. Now, naturally, you're going to want to hunt where the deer are, but not everyone has access to private land. But every state does have public land available to hunt. So if you don't have private land, then your best bet is to find the public land, which can be located on the internet on on any of your state's websites. Um, So when you find a place to hunt, first thing you want to do is scout the area. So while scouting, you look for things. So if you've ever seen a cow farm, cows walk in particular areas, and you can tell where they walk because they make impressions into the ground. And deer are similar. So deer have specific pathways that they travel. So that's one thing that I always look for. Another thing would be deer droppings. I know it sounds gross, but that's a way to tell if they're in the area. Um, Typically, during their mating season, um, a male deer, which is referred to as a buck, they will rub trees. Um, they scrape the ground to mark their territories. That's another good implication that there's deer in the area. Um, and then once you find an area with a lot of deer sign, that's where you'll want to start. Um, so all of that should get you to being to start out your hunting if you're doing it for the first time. So as I mentioned earlier, hunting whitetail deer, it's not easy, but as long as you have the right equipment, follow the laws, and work hard, you can be successful. Now I know hunting is not for everyone, and I know it can be boring, but it's also rewarding. It's kind of hard to explain to people who don't hunt, um, but it is challenging, and I actually spend a lot of time reflecting and talking with God, and just silent prayer, and I mean, how beautiful the creation that He gives me, and the animals that He gives us to be able to harvest and eat and enjoy with our families. Um, it's something that I think everyone should try at least once. Um, Now, for my references, I did reference two different from two different websites. The first one was from National Geographic. When I gave you the specific information on the whitetail deer, like their weight and things like that, and then the other website was actually from Realtree. It's a hunting brand business, if you will. Um, but those are the resources that I use to gather my information, and then the majority of it was just off of knowledge. Like I said, I've been hunting for over 20 years now, and I've built a lot of inner knowledge about doing that. Um, but that's about it. I'm just gonna wrap it up now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.